Oh,
I've been here for a few minutes. Hey guys, how we doing?
good.
We're good, Kevin. How are you?
Good. So the ladies are in the middle. Her name is Sable. Correct?
Amanda, but close enough.
Amanda. The woman to her right, your name is
Adriana.
Adriana, and the woman to your left,
Janina.
Janina. Okay, one of the things I kept hearing, my name is Kevin Samuels, by the way, nice to meet you. One of the things I kept hearing is the notion of fairness. Why is that so important to you, Amanda?
I hate to admit it, but I do. Like, I'm half a man. I'm just a pretty girl. And I don't think that I should have to accept less in life because I was born with different equipment. I think that's bullshit.
Well, if you're half a man, then you should understand this full concept that men don't care about fair.
I don't have to care about fair either.
No. Men don't care about fair, or else we wouldn't conquer other people. You're of European descent. Looks like you're from. Your people are from the Caucasus Mountains. European descent. Huh?
I am very white. Yes.
That's fine. And some of them, and there's a lot, and between a lot of warring tribes, Germania, the Franks. If we cared about fairness, we would just let everybody stay on their land. Vikings wouldn't have raided and pillaged. England would have stayed on its island. Scotland would have been all right. Ireland would have been all right. Matter of fact, Hong Kong wouldn't have been a British protectorate for how many years? Oh, until the last, 30 or 40? Men don't care about fair. We conquer. It's winners and losers.
Straight up.
Right? You're half a man.
I didn't know that only men were part of conquering.
Well, name me some great female warriors that have dominated the planet.
Well, I mean, I'm learning new education here, which is only men conquer.
No.
I mean, that's what you're telling me, right?
No. Well, see, what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to switch that. I'm asking about fairness. And I said about fairness. Why is fairness so important? You said because you're half a man.
Because if you expect something of me, I should be allowed to expect the same of you. And if you can't offer me that, you don't deserve to be in my life.
But that has nothing to do with fairness.
It has everything to do with fairness.
No, fairness means you get an opportunity. Fairness doesn't mean you get an outcome.
Oh my God.
You get an interview, not guaranteed a job.
No, you're not. But I work very, very hard to ensure that I keep it.
Well, if that's the case, you should. If that's the case,
right?
If that's the case, then. If that's the case, you should be able to secure the things you want, so you should have no problem.
Obviously not. Not when men are out here believing like you don't have to be fair.
Well, those two things can't exist in the same place.
Women haven't even been part of human history. It's just men, and all we care about is conquering.
Well, no. You just said you work very hard, so you should get the outcomes. See, if hard work was all that required, then we would almost be guaranteed. Hard work gets you a ticket to the dance. It doesn't guarantee you the top spot. How many? Who lost the Super Bowl, guys?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Can you say they worked hard this year?
Very hard.
Number 2. Men don't worry about fairness. We worry about winning. And to the victor go the spoils. Just like, you know what? How many times you've gotten to a club into VIP for free when some ugly chicks had to pay full price?
Is that my fault?
No. I've asked how many times it happened before you go down that path.
I mean, plenty of times in Miami.
Exactly, but that's not fair, is it?
Well, please don't forget I'm not from here.
But that's not the point, ma'am. That's not fair, is it?
I also don't care about those things.
But so you only care about fairness when it doesn't benefit you.
I just don't go to clubs that often.
But that's not the point. I asked you, how many times you've gone to a club where you got in for free, where ugly chicks or less attractive chicks had to pay? And you know that's happened. You didn't say, excuse me, sir. Even though I'm attractive, I demand that you charge me full price. That's fair, right?
Okay, so because I
fair?
Into places and get
Is that fair?
That means that I should get
fair. Before we go there, I'll answer your question if you at least answer mine. Is that fair?
Life isn't fair.
Well, if that's the case, you accept it in the sexual marketplace too.
It doesn't mean I have to accept other people's bullshit.
No. Well, see, the thing is, ma'am, what you've proven, like many feminists and many women, you're okay with the double standards that benefit you. But the ones you don't like, you just throw at the wind, use sign language, shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right to deflect and dismiss guys who are normally intimidated by this thing. I'm not. I'm just challenging your positions. You're okay with it not being fair when it benefits you.
You're oversimplifying a very complex situation.
No, it's not really complex. There are no such thing as loyal. The concept of a loyal highly effective competitive alpha is a female notion.
And have to continue to compete with other pretty girls because men are too simple to stick with one.
Well, how about this? The kind of men you're talking about are simple enough to make the lights you live in, the air conditioning, all the stuff that you, hold on, excuse me, ma'am. The simple men built the world that you use.
I built my own world. So
No,
again,
ma'am, you used the world we built. No, ma'am, you used the world men built. Name me 5 great female inventors. I'll give you one. Madam Curie.
I can't believe you. So you're telling me that men and
No, ma'am, I just asked you a question and you did, no, you go, see, you're answering questions with questions. You're talking about building. Name me 5 great female inventors or builders. Madam Curie.
5 inventors or builders. That's a really great question. That really is. Yeah, I was gonna. Well, also I don't remember the lady's name, but there's a bunch of buildings in Miami.
Go on and do it. Go on and do it. Go.
Take it.
She's afraid. Go on and do it. Go on and get on in there, baby girl. You got it.
Miami was established by a woman.
Congratulations. But the Miami, the land was established by, but this country was first landed by who? Men or women?
Men.
Exactly.
I agree with you.
And see, the thing is, I've done this show about survival, and you can go back to Bear Grylls Island number 2. Man, you can only be a feminist in a first world country.
There's a hierarchy of needs. You are correct. We
Right,
all
and we don't need you.
college.
And we don't need you. You need us.
Great. I don't need you either.
I know we need you. We don't need you for survival. You need us for survival.
Okay, so
What I'm trying to get you to understand, ma'am, is you have a right to your opinions.
obviously I don't have a right to anything.
Well,
Here.
no, you have a right to believe what you want, but the thing is, you're not allowed to the outcome. You're allowed to have an opinion, just like men are allowed to have an opinion, and you don't have to compete or deal in a situation that you deem is unfair. But you can't complain about the rules that are already set. You like the rules that benefit you, getting into the club for free, but you don't like the rules that benefit men. High value men have the leverage.
Correct you, because I'm 31 years old and I'm getting a little fed up of these men kind of attacking me. I do not go to clubs anymore. So please stop with your double standard bullshit. I work in a man's world, and if anything, I've had to work 5 times as hard in this world as a man to get where I am. So
well, look at hold on now. Since you want to tell me you've had to, you're 31 years old and had to work in a man's world. That's a privilege. If you don't, here's the thing, ma'am. You say the problems with men. The only one that's complaining about the double standard harshly is you.
Yes,
but it benefits you too.
All the benefits.
Okay, well, here's the thing, ma'am. If you don't like, okay, ma'am, you're a competent woman, correct?
Okay, so I should quit my job and never.
No, you should build Amazonia, and make it the female utopia that benefits women.
I probably should after listening.
Well, then go ahead.
Agree with you.
And then you'd have to actually build something. You'd have to put your mouth where you'd have to put your brawn where your mouth is.
I don't understand what you're saying again.
I'm saying that you came at me with the same line. I've had to put up at 31 years old and deal with men's bullshit. You're living in a first world country. You're in Miami, one of the most posh places on the planet, complaining about double standards that you participate in. The nerve.
I corrected you that I don't go to clubs, so you're
okay, ma'am. I just gave an example. You've been to clubs. I didn't say you continue to go. That's not the point, now is it? But see, that's another way of you trying to get me online and then correcting me because I'm a dumb man. I get the point.
No, you're very rude and very aggressive.
No, I'm very direct. And when you were doing this to the men, you had no problem showing your dick. I'm just acknowledging your balls because you're a tough woman.
Why should I be?
Because I'm just giving what you give. I'm reflecting back what you give to people. But see, the thing is, you're okay giving this to people.
Okay.
I'm just challenging what you think.
These were my opinions when I came in here. I'm the one that presented these opinions.
I just listened to you for 2 nights say these things, and I'm just talking to you one-on-one. And you're not backing down. I'm just challenging what you say, man.
To a bunch of weak ass men tell me that I'm not attractive and I'm not this and I'm not that, because I am not going to back down and listen to somebody.
Okay, are you saying the men in the room with you are a bunch of weak ass men?
If you think that I should have to accept less than
no, ma'am, I don't think you should have to do anything you don't want to. You're a free person. But I'm trying to understand, who are the weak ass men you're referring to?
Amazonia, because
who are the weak ass men you're referring to? Who are the weak ass men you're referring to?
What did I just say? I
didn't hear you because you kind of start talking over me. So could you repeat it? A bunch of weak ass men doing what?
Yes. When somebody sits here and tells me I need to accept an unfair situation, that if we applied it to anything else in life other than men and women wouldn't be accepted by everybody in this room. But you're going to tell me that, I'm going to tell you that's bullshit. And that's not fair.
Okay, can I give a response?
There's a million issues in our culture and society today that people are fighting for fairness, but yet I'm sitting here saying, hey, I'm allowed to expect it too, and I'm going to be attacked and told.
Okay, can I respond now?
Different.
Okay, no, let me tell you something. First of all, men don't worry about fair. The sexual marketplace is not fair. All is fair in love and war. It's not fair. There are guys that out there that you wouldn't give the time of day who could have a heart of gold because they don't hit your mark. Oh no, ma'am, I'll let you speak.
You don't know that.
No, I know that you don't give every man a chance is what I do know.
You don't. Well, actually, you don't know that at all.
Okay, are you saying that you are the one female on the planet that will give every man who wanted you a shot?
No, I'm not.
Okay, then I can assume that was correct. Let's move on. Let's not get lost in. Okay, that's a deflection. Let's not get lost in that. You're talking about unfairness. Where in the world is it fair like you need it to be?
Is it fair for you here in America?
No, ma'am. I asked you where in the world is it fair? Like, I'm not complaining about it. I deal with it. I deal with the unfairness and overcome it because I'm a man and I can deal with it. And I'm asking you, where is this place? Where's this ideal place? Where's the ideal model?
It doesn't exist.
Exactly.
There's 3 women here sitting like here, never wanting to go on a date again.
Well, no. How about not wanting to go on a date? What's happened in this world more than anything else is mankind has learned how to get along with each other since recorded history. But around the 60s, when the National Organization for Women, the ERA, not Phyllis Schlafly, she was on our side. When all this stuff came in, feminism, second wave, feminism, I'm a feminist. I believe in feminism. Feminism is about choice.
So you really
Excuse
are.
me, ma'am. Feminism in its true form is about choice.
Yeah, we don't have a choice right now with what's
No,
going
you
on.
have a choice. She just exercised one right now. It got too hot. She left.
Feminist, but shit shouldn't be fair.
See, it's about choice. If a woman wanted to be a housewife, she could do it. If she wanted to be a business person, she could do it. See, the choice was about all black people wanted was a choice, freedom, to have an equal shot, not equal outcomes. Men accept these things. You don't hear men complaining about fair. If Donovan and I were playing a game of football or video game, if he was kicking my fucking ass, I would be a punk to sit up and say, it's not fair. My controller's not working. The game is rigged. That's not fair. You're better. I would have to just take my ass whooping, take my L's and get better. That's what men do.
That you guys choose to be this way, and we don't want to choose to be that way. We want to be different. We don't want somebody that's going to cheat. We don't want anybody, we want someone that's going to be faithful. Why do we have to settle for these types of things that you're saying?
Well, first of all, you don't have to settle for anything. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. But what also does not have to happen is men don't have to be counter to their nature to make you happy.
And that's okay. So what's the issue?
The issue is that men are not the ones complaining about the state of relationships and dating as much as women are. Women wanted freedom of choice. Women wanted to be able to have sex with who they wanted to, marry who they want to, love who they want to, work where they want to, not work where they want to, go every place that men could go. You are the most free, most liberated group of women that ever existed on the human history, and yet you're the most unhappy. 1 in 4 out of you on some sort of psych meds. Women the marital rate is dropping with modern women. What else do you want men to do? We've civilized the world in general. We don't even have wars. You can do whatever you want to. And you're still not happy with the world that men built, telling us that we're not good enough because we don't move like women. We're not going to.
I just feel like you guys don't put in effort. I feel like the most of you
Are you
enough.
serious?
I do feel like you're serious.
That I don't put in effort?
I mean, the way that you're talking, it doesn't seem like it.
No, but she's right in a sense because just what
wow.
you guys are saying, most guys today, those 80% of guys that
you guys are used to it, so you guys
there's-
just don't even put
there's
the
more-
effort
there's
Used to
more
what?
guys-
Hold on, used to what?
to not putting in effort. You guys are so used to
oh,
women just
no.
falling at your lap. and doing
So
what
I
you
was
wanna
born
do.
this way. Is
It's
that
because
it?
the 23-year-olds matter and not
But
that.
you know what? But the guys, let's not get lost in this, because when they can get into VIP by just being the hottest woman in the club, that's okay.
Why is that your only argument?
Yeah, and
Because it's the one that everybody understands. Because it's the one that everyone understands. And I could use more. Trust me, I'm a smart guy. I can give you more. But the point of the matter is, it's the one we understand, and the double standard benefits you, you're okay with it. What effort are women putting in today? Women still want men to move in a traditional way, but yet you're not traditional women.
I don't even know
Is there a
what to
crickets
say.
button?
I'm confused how I'm asking men to act in a traditional way. When
Yes, you want men to be traditional. I mean, most women. Okay, I run a show that has anywhere from 15 to 20,000 people watching every night. And women around the world consistently say they want a man that's earning in the high 5, low 6 figures. They want to have 2 to 3 kids and be married. Most women want the top 10% of men. You can go watch my channel and see this bared out. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Middle Eastern, and other across the board. All these women are given an option. Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant? The answer comes back overwhelmingly no, meaning they want to be traditional stay-at-home housewives. They weren't raised that way. They weren't cultured that way. They're not even equipped to be that way, but yet and if you ask them, could you date an average guy earning $50,000? Even women coming straight out of college turn their nose up. Men accept this. Excuse me, ma'am. Men accept it. Can I finish my example?
Today you said he's making $80,000 and that wasn't enough.
Okay, so men accept this. Men accept the fact that college men accept the fact that they're in school right now with women their own age, that 80 years ago they could have married and had a family early on. Now they're looking at these same women, and these same women would not even look at these guys unless they're making 6 figures. Men have accepted the unfairness in the marketplace. It's not fair for men. 18 to 30, men used to could get married. Now you can't even really consider getting married till you're 35 plus because you have to have resources. That's the new marketplace. Let me finish. Let me say this and I'll turn it over. Men have accepted that and adjusted. The difference is the women are not bringing in, women in mass are bringing this. Ask them what you want, you get War and Peace. Ask you what you bring to the table, you can't write it on the back of a stamp. You get access to my body, which is not virgin, which is not even low miles, which you've given to somebody before. And in some cases, you've even shared your womb. You're not even really feminine like women used to be. You don't even have the domestic skills, the home skills. So I would submit today that modern women are asking for an unfair deal from modern men.
So we should go back to 1950 and make it more fair?
Well, I tell you what's happening is the men have accepted this and they're deciding I am either not going to play this game because I cannot earn what these guys around you are earning, and they're just opting to walk away. And the men who are earning that have an overwhelming amount of options. They have a plethora of options. Men in the top 10%, top 5%, I'm 51 years old and I can pick whatever I want because women all want the same kind of man. And if you have options just like you're not going to do what? Settle. Men didn't make the marketplace this way, ladies. You fought for it to be this way. This is freedom. Freedom comes with responsibility.
Clearly not for men.
No. See, when men were paying the bills, when we had the old system, men were expected to fight the wars, dig the ditches, build the buildings, pay all the bills. And when a divorce or something happened, men had to pay. Now women fought for equality. So you get upset when you deal with 50-50 mindset men.
No, I mean, I'd rather be an independent rich woman and be single than to be stuck with a man who doesn't give a shit about me.
And I would rather pay more than half of the bills.
Absolutely, exactly.
Okay, first off, you said you'd rather be in it, and if that's what you choose to be, great, you can do that. That's choice. And you can do that.
Exactly.
But the thing is, but the funny thing is, you would think that, and especially in my community, strong, independent, such and so forth, the amount of women who are high earners, independent, and miserable is amazing. Halle Berry, once the most beautiful woman on the face of the planet, 3 times in a row, is complaining about child support. She's rich, she's beautiful, she's miserable. How about this? There used to be a time where men and women actually did not war with one another. We didn't have these contentious things. We accepted that men were men, women were women. We acknowledged each other's differences. We respected those things and let the world work. In the last 70 years, we've decided, let's rejigger everything, and it's not working.
And you could rape your wife and she didn't have any rights, and you could beat her
Now, what's going on, guys, is this is the sign language that goes on again. This is when they go to the horror stories in the Black community. We call this the color purpling of Black America. Miss Seeley, these things could happen, sure, but they did not happen in mass. You did not go to suburbia and see women's eyes hanging out of their socket.
I highly disagree with you.
Okay.
I mean, raping your wife was such a huge deal. It didn't even get.
I said eyes hanging out of your socket. You talking about? I'm not going to use that word because I'm on somebody's platform.
Right.
Can we not use that word though?
Because
Can we not use that? Can we not use that word? It's YouTube sensitive.
I'm sorry. What word?
The R word.
Par spelled backwards.
It dings the platform.
Okay.
I'm not rejecting the concept.
But
And yes, ma'am, it happened.
Right.
But ma'am, but what you're trying
I
to
think that world was better for me.
okay, well then if the world is better for you, then accept the things that come along with a better world.
I just think that everything you guys are presenting are opinions and they're not facts.
Well, actually, there are more facts than you want to deal with because all I deal with based on facts.
There are things that you guys want to say are facts.
Okay, ma'am.
Statistics that show me
Here
this.
we go.
Where
Okay, ma'am. My show, all I deal with facts and statistics.
women that are happy in their environment, knowing they're being cheated on, knowing these things are happening to them, and you find them for me.
How many women we have
Excuse me, hold on. Let me ask the question again. Ask the question again.
here?
You go find
Like-
these women that are being happy, being cheated on. They're
There's no
happy,
way.
and
Excuse me. Hold on. Excuse me. I can go. I'll let you know. I can go out to where I used to live in Dallas in Highland Park. I knew at least 6 of them. Six
You
of them.
find
Because they were. Excuse me, ma'am.
women that have been in.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. If you let me explain to you, I will.
You're not letting me finish my thought, and then
You asked a question. You asked a question. Go find these women, and I'm going to tell you where I found them.
over. My
Okay.
thought wasn't over. I said in successful marriages.
Okay. In
Where-
successful marriages,
10 years later.
and
for-
they're still married. Still married. Still married. They were the soccer. The soccer mom. Okay. Okay. Do you want to hear or not?
Well, I mean, I just don't. I would
You
love.
see, I could give you the example and you still won't accept it because there are some women who accept the fact that, you know what, if I want to have a man that's making $400,000-$500,000 a year, that kind of living, he's not going to be able to go to the PTA meetings. He's going to have to work his butt off and maybe travel a lot. And guess what? They have an arrangement. But guess what? As long as you don't bring in home any outside babies, no diseases, and don't embarrass me in public, we're good. Guess what? She can also do what she wants to do as well. And they have an understanding because when the marital rate in this country, the divorce rate in this country is over 51%. But when you cross a net income of $250,000, it drops to 20% because people with more money got more reasons to stay together. And they find a way to do it all the time.
I respect your opinion because
That's
at
a
least
fact.
it's fair. At
That's
least
a
you
fact.
people get to have a part of a deal instead of just men get to cheat and women are going to sit at home and deal with it.
What I just gave you was a fact that anybody can look at.
Well, but again, I'm more okay with what you're saying. You're telling me it's going both ways, not just one.
Well, I'm telling you, it always has gone both ways. But the way you guys are set up is it's always women are the victims. And that's that feminism crap. I don't think women are victims. I think women can pick and choose. I think there are plenty of women like Melania Trump to choose to be married to a guy like Donald Trump and knew exactly what she was getting, was perfectly fine with being where she is. That's a choice.
I don't think I've ever sat
She
here
is
and
the
claimed
worst.
to be a victim.
Yeah, she is the worst. I mean, she's probably the best example because I'm not a Trump fan, but like, she's the worst example to bring into that because it's like she's not.
She had the freedom to choose, and she chose.
She did.
Oh, you going to negate her choice?
Absolutely. She wasn't an American. She made her choices based on.
Oh, listen to that, gentlemen. Fairness. See, this is what it is. This is selective feminism. It's feminism only when it goes with what I think. Thank you for proving my
I
point.
would like to make a point, actually. So, if we brought up that plenty of Colombian women run game on white guys in Miami for citizenship, we would act like they're victims.
No, I wouldn't.
Poor guys.
I wouldn't.
Melania Trump does the same thing.
No, I
She
wouldn't.
gets citizenship. She gets some cash. She gets what you are perceiving as
She
a
got a deal. So let me explain. Let me say something, guys. Let me explain something to you, ladies. What men and women have always done is not worried about the Western notion ideal of marriage. What men and women have traditionally done is sat down and negotiated and hammered out a deal. And that's what they do. You hammer out a deal. Melania Trump got a deal. She is not a prisoner. She could have chosen to leave. This is a free country. If Donald Trump wanted her to stay and she wanted to leave, she could have. She chose to be there.
Yeah, but we're not all like Melania Trump.
And
She is
I-
like,
And that is not a valid argument.
No,
But
but
it is,
I
though,
would like.
It's not, because we're not. That's not a valid argument.
We're
I'm
not
saying the
always-
fact that there are women who make choices that you don't understand, but they're free to make them and happy in those situations.
But again, you're talking about choices that are going both ways. When what I have been getting annoyed with is there is no sense of fairness, and that's what exactly.
There is no fairness in dating, ma'am. That's what you don't seem to get. There's no fairness in this. All's fair in love and war. This is not fair.
Yeah.
It's survival.
I'm glad I know now. I
mean,
just
now
got a
that
lot of
this is
empowerment.
Now
Thank
that I
you.
heard everybody's opinion here, it's like I don't even want to date. Like I'm.
Oh, I do.
I'm gonna
just
be.
gonna
I'm
run
gonna be
game on
even more.
you.
Exactly. I'm
Well,
gonna.
but understand something, and you can do that. But here's the
Oh,
thing.
I am man.
And that's the fine, and that's fine. But here's the thing, and the thing, and while you're running game, the game will be played as well. That's fine, and men are okay with that. See,
I don't-
men are okay with the
You
women.
guys okay with that though?
Ma'am, you ladies set up the rules. We are playing the game that modern women have set up.
So Kevin, and I don't know if you heard it, but again, one of the things that's bothered me is that again, it's well, men can do this, but women can't.
Such as?
Again, the cheating thing. Well, if you're the
Cheating.
1% of men, then you get to do this, and it's because women show, love differently and blah blah blah.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: if you are with a 1% man and you're cheating,
He's not around.
you better not get. If you need to know your man.
Neither are we.
Some men. I will say this: I know men in the 1% whose wives have. What do you think the porn where she's sleeping with the pool boy, the postman, came from? Women cheated. The Postman Rings Twice was a very famous movie in the 70s. Ladies, there are some men who understand their wives cheat. There are just rules to it.
But again, I like that you're telling me we're setting a plan up front, because that's not what's been being said
That's
here.
always what it comes down to.
He loves you. He ain't gonna let you know he's
There
cheating.
is something that comes down when there is some man on the planet that you can actually make a deal with that you could accept. Now the point is, can you find them before time runs out? But that's how it always comes down to. There are blanket generalizations that are broadly true for most people. But we're human beings. Everyone has a choice. Some guys cannot tolerate any cheating. Well, then if you need to get your itch scratched and you know what you got on the line, you got to rate the risk reward. Because if you want to risk it,
aim lower, I guess. Lower your expectations, because
Maybe.
if you're dating, above the 1%, then you might get somebody that's not gonna fucking cheat, right?
Maybe.
well, hold on. And see, the notion of this whole aim lower, this is why when women say this, I don't think you realize that people, when I don't think a lot of times you ladies understand when you say aim lower, you're in that lower too.
Where's the crickets button?
I don't aim lower. I'm not going to aim lower. I'm just
That
gonna
is
stop
something I
being
just
such
put
a nice
out there.
person.
I'm
But
just-
the fact that here's some realities. Women control access to sex and determine whether or not a life is brought into the world. Men control access to relationships and marriage. So you can aim whatever you want to, but unfortunately, men across the board, low value to high, control access to relationship. That's what we control. So this is what I was saying earlier. Ladies, across the board, you can have your standards, your point of view, but when it comes right down to it, the way you guys were talking is if you had leverage over the kind of men that was in the discussion. You don't. Those men have leverage over the women. You're not competing. You're competing with the women around him. Everything that you ladies are saying, I won't tolerate this, such and so forth. There are plenty of other women to be like, shit, okay, fine. What else? Is that it? No problem.
Saying we're not 1% like they are.
I'm saying that there are more women wanting them than there are men. There's 1%. That means 99% aren't. And almost 100% of women want the same 1% of men. The Petro principle.
Oh yeah.
There are more women trying to, okay, you've all been into a club at some point in your life. There's a regular club and there's VIP. The guys who are in VIP are looked at differently than the guys who are standing online.
That's not fair, Kevin.
Well, what the guys in VIP had to make. See, the thing is, one thing that most women don't seem to realize, and it's very simple. Women are born with inherent value. So they really can't understand the concept that we men have to deal with, that we have to make ourselves valuable. So when men hear that we have to make ourselves valuable, we accept the world as it is, and we don't sit back and say, well, it's not fair. We just deal with the world as it is. Here's the principle. Women can never objectively understand the male journey and struggle, so don't try to explain. in general, they see everything through rose-colored glasses, being born with inherent value. You earn all of your value as a man, and it's your greatest opportunity that you could hope for. Women are born with value, men are not.
Y'all had your
That's
you all
fucking
had your
bullshit.
struggle. The women
It's
are still
bullshit.
struggling right
yeah,
now.
I was gonna say it's
Clearly,
way harder to be a woman than a man.
I said value, ma'am. I said value.
yourselves
No, you went to how hard it is. I said value.
Nobody's feeling sorry for themselves here.
I said value.
Really
Are you so
You're all telling me you're entitled to something better because your struggle's been harder.
no one see, men don't think we're entitled to anything. That's why we said don't even no. What I said was men should not try to explain.
If you weren't entitled, you wouldn't sit here and tell me I don't deserve the same.
No, you can knock the sign language off. It doesn't work on me. What I was saying is men should not try to objectively articulate your struggle and journey to be a man, because women are born with inherent value. See,
Kevin, she stopped listening. It's.
I know, and I'm about to run, but I'm gonna say this for the audience. Thank you for having me on, guys. And these are valuable back and forth, because what needs to happen more often than not is women who have these strong beliefs just question their beliefs, question why they believe what they believe, and then if it stands up, it stands up. If it doesn't, okay. But it's not. We're not being fair. We're not being rude. We're not being evil or argumentative. Women are used to one-way discussions, and that time has passed. Thank you, guys.
All right, Kev.
Thanks, Kevin.
Peace out.
Thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
Yeah.